At OHA or any boarding school, it is extremely easy to get sick because we all live in such close quarters. There are normally around 10 or 12 students at this school that are sick each day, but out of those students, only around 1 to 3 students will actually report being sick to the dorm office to be put on the sick board. This is because all the students want to keep their electronics and be comfortable while they're sick. All students should be able to keep their phones and laptops when they take a sick day. As you know, right now, every student is to have their phone and laptop taken away when they're sick, but I don't think that's okay. I think that it is important for all the students and staff at OHA to listen to what I've listed below for as to why we should make this change. I am a student at OHA and I have been for the past 2 years. Last year, right before winter break, so around December 2021, I sadly caught COVID while at school. I ended up being sick for almost 2 weeks because of the rules at this school. On the first day, I woke up and I felt sick, but I decided not to take a sick day. I was coughing a little bit and I had a little bit of a sore throat, but no fever for the time being, and I was still able to go about my day even though I felt a little off. I did this because since it was right before winter break, I wanted to have my laptop and electronics to make sure I could get all my schoolwork done and my assignments turned in, which I wouldn't be able to do without any electronics. After the first day, my symptoms got much, much worse. I woke up with a pounding headache, shivering, extreme coughing, a sore throat, and now I most definitely had a fever. So that day, I decided I would take a sick day. When they put my name on the board, a teacher came into my room. They wanted to talk to me, but they said it was like talking to a ghost, how sick I was. They then took all my electronics and they were on their way. The teachers saw how incredibly sick I looked, but it seemed like they were more worried about me having my laptop and phone rather than the fact that I was there coughing up a lung. Keep in mind, at this point in time, I had no clue what sort of sickness I had. I can only now assume that it was COVID based off my symptoms that I was experiencing. The following day, I decided to take another sick day because I was still sick as a dog. I could barely eat or drink or move. Understandably, I was already very anxious because I didn't know what type of illness I had, and I was alone at 16 years old and sick, and them taking my phone just made me more anxious since I wasn't even allowed to talk to my parents. I also did not have any medication at the time, and I only had access after my sick day. I know Advil and Tylenol don't actually help fight the illness itself, but it definitely helps you get through the day. When we go on the sick board, we're no longer allowed to leave our rooms, which means that I could not leave to go buy any medication. But that's okay, right? Because I could just order some. But no, because I don't have any of my electronics with me. After that day, I decided to just suck it up and get my electronics back so I could finish all my schoolwork and turn it in. And I ended up being sick from that day on until once I got home for Christmas break. So, in my personal experience and some other people's experience that I've heard of, taking our phones just made the whole situation of us being sick a lot more difficult and stressful. I've done some research on the effects of not getting proper rest when you're sick to really help prove my point. A lot of people are stressed out when they're sick, especially with no phone to contact their parents, which makes them lose sleep. So, to put it simply, when you're sick, your body has to create a bunch of these substances called cytokines. These are used to fight whatever infection it is you have. When you are sleep deprived or you're lacking energy, which normally occurs when you're sick, your body cannot produce these substances, making it so that your body won't fight the illness as fast. That means that all the kids that don't take sick days, just so they're able to keep their electronics, won't be able to recover from the illness for a while and will perform poorly in school and or sports for a longer period of time. All in all, I think that all students should have complete access to their electronics and proper rest when they are sick. I hope you will take the time to consider everything that I have brought up in this speech, and I hope you start to realize how truly important this change is. Thank you for taking the time to listen to what I had to say and taking the time to think about the steps to come to approach this change.